Maybe we've been learning the wrong way. Can I ask you one honest question? If you've been following Bias Positive Digital Rise for a while, what have you actually gained from this channel? I'm genuinely curious, because I know many of you don't just watch my videos. You probably follow other trading channels, business channels, self-development channels, maybe even automotive and workshop channels. And that's exactly why I want to ask you this. After consuming all that information, what really changed? Did you simply collect more information, or did your way of thinking begin to change? I think that's one of the biggest problems today. We're surrounded by information, thousands of videos, thousands of strategies, thousands of opinions, yet many people are still confused. Why? Because information alone doesn't create understanding. A different way of thinking does. If you've noticed, this channel isn't only about trading. Yes, we talk about candlesticks, price action, market structure, trading psychology, decision-making, the fractal authority model. But we've also discussed workshop management, operating systems, business processes, leadership, decision frameworks, and even the philosophy behind building systems. At first glance, those topics seem completely unrelated, but are they? Here's what I believe. Whether you're running a business, managing a workshop, or trading the financial markets, the same principle keeps appearing. Everything is a system. Every result comes from a process. Every process follows a structure. And every good decision begins with understanding that structure. That's why you'll hear me talk about systems thinking so often, because I don't believe the biggest problem is a lack of strategies. I believe the biggest problem is that most people never learn how to see systems. Maybe that's the old belief we need to question. Maybe success doesn't begin with finding better techniques. Maybe it begins with seeing the world differently. Once your thinking changes, your decisions change. When your decisions change, your results eventually follow. So today I'd like to ask you something. When you watch this channel, what is the biggest thing you've gained so far? Has it changed the way you think? Has it challenged one of your old beliefs? Has it helped you connect ideas that once seemed unrelated? I'd really like to know. And one more question. What topic would you like us to explore next? Not because this channel will follow every request, but because your questions help me understand what thinking barriers many traders and professionals in general are still facing. I'll choose some of those questions and answer them, the same way we've built this channel from the beginning, not by creating hype, not by promising shortcuts, but by building understanding. One idea at a time. Everything here is free. Because my goal isn't to sell you excitement. My goal is to share a way of thinking that has transformed how I see markets, businesses, and systems. If that way of thinking has helped you in any way, tell me in the comments. I genuinely love to hear your story. And if you're new here, welcome to Bias Positive Digital Rise, a place where we don't just learn skills, we learn how to think.